so today we're continuing with our geometry chapter, but we're doing lesson 2 today, draw parallel and perpendicular lines. So, if you look at the top, it says you can describe lines, rays, and line segments, that's what we learned yesterday, by the way they cross each other or do not cross each other. So let's look at example number 1, and we're going to look at the picture next to it with a cute little kangaroo on it. Oliver was riding in their car and saw this sign. Describe how the outlined line segments cross each other or do not cross each other. Parallel lines are always the same distance apart. They do not meet or cross each other. They will never meet or cross each other. Here's your vocabulary for parallel. Because they are exactly the same distance apart, and they're not at any type of an angle, they will never ever cross each other. If you took a giant ruler and you kept going here and kept going here, these lines would never cross, so they are parallel. And just as a review from yesterday, these are line segments, not lines, because they have ends right here. So let's look at the key concept. These are really always super important for you to tab in your book so you can refer back to them when you're doing your work. This is just showing you once again that parallel lines are always the same distance apart. They do not meet. And these did not have letters next to them, but they're showing you here how you would write this. So this would be parallel lines CD and line AB. You could write it like this, AB, and these are lines, not line segments, because they have the arrows, so you go to AB, and then this is showing that they're parallel right here, and CD, so that's how you could write them, if you want it. AB, they're lines, not line segments. This is the symbol for parallel, and this is line CD. So you would draw it like that. Okay, here we have another key concept. These are intersecting lines. And they cross over each other. Okay? So we look at here, it says words, lines that meet or cross each other are called intersecting lines. Line AB is intersecting line CD. So AB intersects CD. All right? That's one kind. Lines that meet or cross each other to form a square corners are called perpendicular. Get your vocab card for perpendicular. You notice that it makes a right angle right there. Okay, it makes a square corner. So line AB is perpendicular to line CD. AB is perpendicular. They do that because you can show that square angle right there when you're writing it. So line AB is perpendicular to line CD. And these are lines, not line segments, because they have the arrows. Example 2. Describe the figure. Use parallel, perpendicular, or intersecting. Use the most specific term. This is important because intersecting and perpendicular lines both cross each other, but they're very different. You just have to remember that perpendicular lines form a square angle and intersecting do not. So the figure shows ray AB, so this is a ray AB, and line segment CD, because they have ends, CD. The figures crouch each other, but do not form square corners. So AB and CD are intersecting. They are not perpendicular. They're intersecting. And that's just something you're going to have to remember, okay? Perpendicular makes a square corner, intersecting does not. Let's talk math. Name a real-world example of parallel line segments and intersecting line segments. Well, I think they are showing us one right here with this waffle, which is super cool. That is definitely a real-world example, and you can think of some on your own or with your teacher. Let's look at number 1. Describe the line segments outlined in the tennis racket. Well, we know they're line segments because they have ends, and they're the exact width apart. These would never be intersecting, so they would be parallel. Okay. Enjoy the lesson with your teacher.